Hello, guys. It's yet another day on Tech the Unscripted. And just like the last session, we had an amazing person from the University of Iowa. And this time around again, we have Isaac, who is an someone who is super fascinated about AI, even without a technical background. It's nice to meet you.
You too.
Great. So I know my audience will be bored with my kind of introduction about you. So maybe just tell us who you are and what you do.
Sure. So I first got into technology about 15 years ago. I built a mobile app and web app platform for golfers to book tee times. And I spent a few years working on that and learning a lot of painful, expensive lessons about software development and more generally just starting and launching a company. And so a few years after that, I teamed up with a couple software developers who had also struggled building their own startups. And we set out to help people with ideas build MVPs and launch new ideas. So we spent about 5 years, launched about 100 different startups, saw a lot of great people pursue their dreams. And even in doing even doing the approach we were then, it was still a very big struggle to bring technology ideas to life. And so today, AI is just so exciting because it makes things accessible that used to just be so expensive. So the friction for people to start a new company is just so low. So
I mean, listening to you earlier, I was just carried away by how you are able to do things with AI seamlessly, right? And I understood that you've been in this industry, this technical industry, for the last 15 years. If AI was taking 15 years backward, what would that be for you?
ah, well, my original company,
Yeah.
one of the many reasons that startup failed was it took me so long to build my vision, and it took me so long to get customer feedback. So what often happens with startups is that you only have a certain amount of time before you've got to move on. You only have so much money before it runs out, where you don't have any money to keep building. So if I had today, or if I had then what I have today in terms of technology at my disposal, I would have been able to build my vision, learn how wrong it was and what people wanted. Absolutely. And I would have been able to iterate on the idea. Instead, what I have seen over the many years, people, they have maybe 2 or 3 chances and then they run out of time. They run out of money. So now, and what I tried to show you today was in minutes, we can create what used to take months and tens of thousands of dollars. Today, it sounds crazy to say it, but it takes 10 minutes to bring the initial first version of it to life. And then you can take that to customers very quickly. You get feedback really quickly. Even in real time, you can be at a customer discovery session, and as they give you feedback, you're making the change. And so it just accelerates the pace of innovation so much. I think what you're going to see is that anybody with an idea can build it, right? Absolutely. So in the past, it was kind of like, well, who cares if you have ideas, right? Like the people that build it, like that's the important part, like the engineer, right? And not to just diminish what true engineers can do. They're needed, they're amazing. However, now that's not the blocker. The limitation is the founder's ideas and the founder's willingness to keep going. Absolutely. And to keep talking to the customers and keep making it better. So now today, if you quit your startup, it's because you've ran out of ideas. Where in the past, you just didn't have enough money and time to pursue the idea, right? So now there's no excuse.
In the past, you didn't have enough ideas. Now all you need is ideas. So long as you quit, it means you have no idea. Now looking at startups, founders and the rest, a lot of people are having this notion that AI is coming to take their jobs, right? So imagine a typical web developer, a typical software engineer, what it would take him or her 7, 5, 6 months to do. AI is doing it in 10 minutes. putting yourself in the shoes of a developer like that, how will you feel that AI is going to take? That's truly if AI is. I don't know. Is AI going to take his or her job?
Yeah. So I have family and friends that are developers, and I think anytime there's a new disruptive technology, there is job displacement, let's say. But I think, history shows that technology expands opportunity, right?
Absolutely.
So I understand why people with a specific job today are concerned that, hey, if the AI can do this development, then what is the developer going to do? There's going to be more ideas made, right? So for the developer themselves and their own ideas, but also I think software gets to a point where you do want people involved, right? Like so I think it's expansive. It's not taking away, it's adding to. Also, for someone to become a developer, which I am not, but I've been around it a lot, and I think I understand conceptually what it is. The mental training that people get, those skills can be applied directly on the AI technology as well, right? Like what we talked about today and what I showed you today, that's, let's call that like the first layer of tech, right? But if you're a software developer, you're able to do even more advanced things, right? So like there's a sort of the simpler stuff that anybody can do, but then when we get into really leveraging AI models on a higher level, that training that developers have gone through, that empowers them to do even more.
Absolutely.
So whereas before you might have needed to be a machine learning expert, like completely dedicated to that one niche thing, now you've got just sort of the mental model and experience with frameworks and the underlying technology that lets you tap into this higher level of things. So really it's like a way for everybody to level up. Whatever your level is today, you go up, right? So now if let's say you've got a master's degree in computer science, the stuff that you're able to accomplish is leaps and bounds ahead of what you're able to do before. So it adds to.
So if AI meets you here, definitely have to find a way to go on top so that you don't go out of job, you don't lose your role in the ecosystem.
Yeah,
I love that.
And the AI really lets even developers, they'll have put limitations on what they can do in the past, right? Like I'm just a front end developer, not anymore, right? Now you're a full stack.
Absolutely.
Right? So, or I'm not a designer. Well, now you are. You can build the whole thing, right? So, again, it's just empowering. That's all it is.
I love that. I love that. And coming from the non-technical background, I wanted to take you back to what brought you into the technical space. Do you want to share how did you find yourself in the technical space?
Yeah. So, so I was pursuing a career as a professional golfer, which was frankly delusional, right? But what that action I took me to the next phase, which was I was trying to generate real estate business. Okay, and so pretty quickly I realized that I needed to do this online, right? And so at the time, Craigslist. I don't know if you're familiar with Craigslist. It's a website similar to what Facebook Marketplace is today. And so we were posting apartment rentals. And so we had so much business, we didn't have time to be at our computers to post manually, right? To run an ad essentially. And so my friend and I, we asked ourselves, well, how can we post a couple hundred ads a day without doing it ourselves? So that took us into automation and posting bots. And then from there, then we started building websites. And then from there, I had an opportunity to get access to an API. And then I was naive. I didn't realize what that meant. I didn't understand the complexity of it. So then I created my startup and set out and built a mobile app platform and a web app platform. So it was really more of I had a business thing that I needed to solve, and then somehow that took us into technology.
Amazing. So prior to, moving into tech or transitioning into tech from your golf, your passion for golf, what was initially your background, or what initially is your background before moving into tech?
Yeah, so I was a college admissions counselor.
Mm-hmm.
And so, very similar to startups.
Mm-hmm.
So I was giving presentations about my university.
Mm-hmm.
I was interviewing college applicants,
Mm-hmm.
and it was very inspiring talking to these high school kids and talking to them about their dreams and what they wanted to build and what they wanted to learn and what they wanted to accomplish. And so I think the startups, it's the same thing, right? It's just I'm just inspired by people who are pursuing learning and building things. So it's kind of like a very natural fit for what I started out doing professionally.
Nice. And over your time in the tech sector, I know you've also been a founder, you've built apps, you've sold apps. I mean, it'd be interesting to know all of this. How many platforms have you built? How many have you sold? How many are still currently running?
That's a great question. So probably maybe 10, 10 out of 100, that are, that have over the years raised a lot of money or, generated enough revenue to keep going or, it's
Like any range?
yeah, I mean, everything from sort of a solopreneur, you know, generating enough revenue for one person to live, all the way up to recently an Iowa startup that raised money at a greater than $1 billion valuation.
Wow.
And I was at the ground floor day one with those founders.
I mean, it's an amazing thing. I'm sitting with someone who has raised over $1 billion in a valuation. Man, I'm excited. Now, um, why you were building this for the young startup, the founders and the emerging founders that are out there? What are those bottlenecks, especially when you're trying to build a technical solution?
Yeah. So um, I think I think the common characteristic of the founders that succeed is that they're they don't give up, and they're not afraid to talk to people,
Absolutely.
right? Um, you know, they're willing to put themselves out there. They're willing to fail,
Mm-hmm.
right? So when you have an idea and uh, you need to talk to the market about it, it's very intimidating, right? In your early stage and in the past, you don't have anything. You're
Mm-hmm.
just somebody with an idea,
Yeah.
right? And so you kind of have to fake it till you make it. You almost have to be delusional, right? I mean, so many people will say, "Oh, you're going to fail." Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you have no chance, right? It's just pessimism all over the place. Like, so you have to just fight through that and not succumb to that and have that internal belief in yourself. And those are the people that succeed, right? You have to have your own sense of strength and not depend on other people for it, because they won't, and people will be discouraging you,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's why programs like this at Iowa and others are so important, because they're that kind of support system
Yeah.
when a lot of people are haters or doubters, right? So I think that's the main thing. You just got to have belief.
So, for sometimes beyond building amazing solutions, the next that comes is raising money to be able to sustain these solutions as well as impact the people who you have in form of customer discoveries, because definitely they are your target audience, right? How then can one build a multi-million-dollar platform and be able to raise as well as still serve the purpose the software or the solution is meant to serve?
So I think the key thing, if you think about investors and the people that startups are trying to raise money from,
Mm-hmm.
startups are seeing those people, not at the end of the investor's journey,
Mm-hmm.
but the investor already went through all that stuff, right? So that investor has had maybe a lifetime or a career of experiences, and they know the effort that it takes, right? So I think the key thing for founders, and something that's so exciting about AI, is it just takes a massive amount of effort, and you have to keep going, right? So I think the key thing that investors want, they want to see that inside of you, right? So when you go to investors and they ask you, what have you done? And you're like, well, I need your money so that then I can do stuff.
No, you have to do before.
Exactly. So now one of the most beautiful things about AI is it removes that, well, I don't have a data analyst, I can't do analysis. I don't have a market analyst, I can't do market analysis. I can't build, like, I need money for the developer. All those things and more are gone. There's no excuse. So for the people that are capable of that energy and focus and determination that it takes, now, in fact, they won't need to raise as much money, right?
Absolutely.
Because what do you really need money for more than anything else? Maybe if you have a hard good or something, you need material. But in many cases, especially startups, you're raising money so you can hire, so you can pay people, right? Like, people is the highest cost of a startup. So, you're removing a lot of that, at least until you have got something that's working so well that it's like, hey, we've got to expand. And, this isn't like we need money to build something to hope that it works. You're going and raising capital, and you've got a lot more validation already, because you're able to go so far before you even need capital. I think we're going to see a flip where small teams can go a long way, whereas before, you've got to, like, time it just right, get product market fit, successfully raise, then you're spending all of your money, and you got to go back and raise more and get diluted further, right? So I think the value is now going to be captured more by that initial founder than by the subsequent investors.
Amazing. The way you talk about AI always make me wonder if you are, at some point I'm getting scared to know if you're a human or you're an AI, right? So I know you are so fascinated about AI, everything you do is AI related, but I will still ask you, assuming you have 5 to 10 technicals team, right? And you have 2 AI solutions that will be able to do the same work like the 5 to 10 persons, which of these will you take? Will you go with the humans or you go with the AI?
I think I think I'd go with the AI, because the AI is has no limits, basically, and the limits of it are ever increasing, arguably exponentially at this point. Whereas, humans evolve over millions of years, right? So, but that said, I don't aspire to a world where there's no humans, and there are no human connections, right? Because at the end of the day, all of this doesn't matter if not for your human connection, right? So I think another way of putting this is the AI is actually going to enable more human connection, because a lot of the things that people do that are big time sucks, those are going to go away. So, like, let's just say, like, the repetitive work, let's just pretend, like, the repetitive data analysis or spreadsheet work, that's a human engaging with the computer.
Absolutely.
Right? That's not a human talking to another person. So I don't think it's an either or. I think it's AI is going to remove things that humans don't really want to be doing anyway. And there's going to be more time for human to human time, creative time. I think that's the world we're going to.
Like, the humans, are there regulatory and watching what the AI does to complete the task they would want to.
Yeah. And they'll be able to spend the time. Like, AI, even if, now we're kind of getting philosophical, even if AI can do anything digitally, right? Okay, robots are coming too. That's another conversation. But for the time being, there's still something human that's uniquely human. Like we're not there yet where human is indistinguishable from the robot.
Absolutely.
Although that's coming. So I don't know, does that answer your question?
Yeah, sure, it did. And sometimes when we talk about AI, it comes with a lot of fear for people who are probably ignorant or who are resistant, right?
Yeah.
And I believe all of this is because of the perception they have that AI is coming to take a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
And even if AI is coming, how do we then use AI for good, especially the safety part of it? Are there regulatory frameworks that are governing and guiding how AI is meant to be used and all of those?
Yeah, it's a great topic and very important. And there's a lot of really serious people that are thinking about this. They're a lot smarter than me. And yeah, I think it's a balance, right? Like we don't actually want just like wild, unlimited AI with no concern about super AI taking over. So I think I think I mean, I don't know that we'd ever have a global framework, such as like a nuclear treaty or something.
Yeah.
But I think it'll probably get to a point where it's in each nation's self-interest to actually come together to have some standards for it, right? Like for example, there's a great YouTube video that Andrej Karpathy, who was the head of Tesla AI, he created one of the first AI courses at Stanford that hundreds of thousands of people have taken. He was just at OpenAI. Like he's a leading mind in AI, and he's a great teacher. And so he made a YouTube video basically explaining what ChatGPT is, and it's trained on all of the world's data essentially, but they exclude certain things, right? So like pornography, it's not trained on that. It's not trained, like we don't want people to be able to create bioweapons, right? So like all things, or like in the United States, free speech is a big thing, but free speech doesn't actually mean unlimited speech, right? Like there's rules against that. Like you can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater, right? There are restrictions, right? Like there is a social contract. Collectively, we are all humans in this world together. So I think it will be the same thing. I think there will be extreme outliers who will try to do bad things, bad actors, maybe terrorist organizations that want to cause bad things, or anarchists, that want to just like cause chaos. So the rest of us who want to
make the world a better place,
collectively move forward and have humanity progress, we'll come together and do the right thing.
Absolutely. And we live in a society where a lot of people are acquisitive about why things happen, and being curious, they also want to venture into it. And let's say, for instance, I do not have a technical background, and we are going to an era where almost everything is done by AI, is driven by technology. How can I, from a non-technical background, be also able to join the trend and then still maintain or in as much as what I want to?
Yeah. Well, I think the beautiful thing too about AI is that it's an incredible teacher as well. I mean, I'm constantly talking about ChatGPT, but I just saw something that they're essentially either very soon or it's in beta or whatever. They're releasing like a ChatGPT teacher, and so I think we're going to this real personalized learning world. And so what that means is like, whereas before people would be, let's just say, victim of whatever random circumstance, like the family and location you are, the public school you go to, it's just kind of where you are, or you have, like, you can go to the library and just start reading. Or in the past, it was like, okay, well now we have the internet, so you can watch YouTube videos or whatever. But we're getting to a place where I think more or less the entire world will have real-time access to their own personalized AI. So anyone literally can learn anything, and they're going to do it from the best teacher that's ever existed, right? So again, I think it's empowering. So if you want to be technical, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you want to understand the minutia of AI and
Mm-hmm.
models, you can. If you don't, if you just kind of want to consume them and your passion is in painting, then you can do that. Or if you want to be some blend. So I think it's really going to a world where there's just almost maximum freedom because anything is possible, right?
Absolutely.
Like AI is going to help drive down the cost of energy, right? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's a limiting factor right now,
Yeah.
but like let's say we have some nuclear breakthrough or fusion energy becomes a real like living thing. Now we're in like a whole other, like exponential growth of
Yes.
what people are able to do.
I'm just blown away, right? Like I know if I keep asking you questions, you keep raising the bar, and it's an amazing time having you on set with me today. And before I let you go, I know probably people out there will be interested in maybe reaching out to you for mentorship, for guidance. I don't know if you're available for such an opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I just I love helping people,
Absolutely.
because
But
I get so
is it
much.
for free?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, great.
Yeah, absolutely. I get so much energy and inspiration from just being near and helping people that are pursuing new things and ideas. So yeah, I'd be happy to, chat with anybody, help anybody any way I can.
All right, great. So I'll be tagging him in the comments or on LinkedIn. I'll share his link to his LinkedIn profile. And you all, if you have any questions around AI, how to start up or launch your business using AI, this is the best person ever to meet. At least for now, I've not seen anybody who is as compared to what he does, and I must really
Oh,
commend
thanks.
all your effort. And so, what would be your advice to the young person watching you out there who probably might have given up on his or her dreams and would want to start up from somewhere, or someone who is trying to build a career or a startup in through AI? What would be your advice to that person?
Well, first of all, you're not alone. There's millions of people right now that are in the same spot. They have an idea, they want to pursue it, they don't really know where to start, right? Like uncertainty is
Mm-hmm.
is part of the human condition, right? You are not alone. It's very normal to feel that way.
Yeah.
So my suggestion, like it feels strange, but begin that conversation with ChatGPT or whatever AI, right? Like be willing to express your uncertainty, admit it, and say it, right? So even if you don't know where to start or you've got a nugget of something, just start the conversation. I think you'll be just surprised and blown away that the AI will help you think about it. And the AI's incentive, what it's
Mm-hmm.
trained to do,
Yeah.
is to actually help, right? And to
And you actually train it to do what you want.
yeah, exactly. So just don't be afraid to just put yourself out there. It might feel a little strange
Mm-hmm.
talking to the AI, but just do it. And I think the faster you can get to maybe solving a problem you have or getting an unanswered question answered, I think you're looking for that light bulb moment.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen this happen with a lot of people that I know personally and professionally. They have this light bulb moment where they sit back and they say, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know it could do that."
Mm-hmm.
So I have those moments all the time where I'm just blown away. So
Yeah.
just start it, get that snowball rolling, and you'll build momentum, right? Like nothing big is built in it. Well, now things are built fast, but just stick with it.
Yeah. Just believe the process,
Yeah,
stick with the process, and you never can tell what the outcome is. And I think also for those who will be willing to launch their startups and grow it to a multi-billion-dollar startup, I'm sure you are also the right person they will be contacting for that. All right, before you leave, what are your top 5 AI platforms you use today?
sure. So ChatGPT, it's got unlimited memory, so it just gets better as the more you use it.
Mhm.
Although there's others that you could use as well. Replit.
Mm-hmm.
This is for web and app development. That's been a big part of my life the last 15 years. So seeing how things can be built just through chat is amazing. Little plug. I don't have an affiliate link. Maybe I should get one. This is called B. So it's a wearable. It's just
I think B has to pay you for doing an advert for them.
They should. It's just listening and transcribing all of my conversations and meetings all day, every day. And so it's essentially a wearable AI assistant.
Mm-hmm.
So I can ask it, what did I say I was going to do? How should I respond to this?
Mm-hmm.
How can I improve? Right. So absolutely. And the point of this is to allow me to be connected to AI without remembering to always do it, right? So instead of having to always go to ChatGPT and ask things, this thing's listening, right? Absolutely. I don't have to remember to record.
Nice.
Let's see. Gosh, there's so many.
Maybe we could leave it at 3.
Yeah, let's just leave it at 3. I mean, there's so many. There's literally dozens that I'm using, but I think the main thing is the willingness to just express yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid of what you're thinking, right? Get it out.
Don't be afraid of what you are thinking. Get it out. Thank you so much for giving me the grace to sit down with you, interview you, and also being able to share your insights on this discussion around AI. You never can tell who is watching you, and I believe they've had an impactful session with you just the way I did also. And if you are just joining us for the first time, please do well to like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next episode. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.